Alright, boys and girls, today we are going to continue our fraction unit. Today we'll be learning about some different types of fractions and how to do some math with both, all three. So today I can identify the three types of fractions and learn to convert one to another, or change. Alright? So let's go ahead and get started. At the end of this lesson, I'd like for everybody to be able to know the names of the three types of fractions and how to do that math. Alright, so we'll get some practice in there. So let's first, in your notes you have this piece of paper. It tells me the three types of fractions. You have a proper fraction, an improper fraction, and a mixed number. I won't use the word fraction. I will use the word mixed number, because mixed number also refers to decimals, and I think it's important for you to know that when you move on to the next grade. So let's talk about proper fractions. Proper fractions are the kind of fraction that you've been using since second grade. The proper fraction is where the numerator is less than the denominator. So 1/3, 3/4, 2/7. And then we have an improper fraction. An improper fraction is the opposite of a proper fraction. The numerator is greater than, and sometimes equal to, the denominator. So here we have 4/3, 11/4, and 7/7. And we know that when the numerator and denominator are the same, it equals 1 whole. And then we have a mixed number, and just as the name suggests, mixed means you have a multiple of things. So mixed here is whole numbers and fractions. So you have two different things here. You have a whole number and a fraction to go with it. So a whole number and a proper fraction together. So 5 4/5, 16 2/7 are examples of mixed numbers. So a mixed number, by definition, there are 4½ apples here. So I have 4 whole apples. That's my whole number. And I have half of a 5th apple. So a number that is a combination of a whole number and a fraction is a mixed number. And that's what I will call them. And then we have an improper fraction. Here's where I'm counting the number of pieces. Alright, so if you think about pizzas, pizzas are generally cut into 8 slices each. So here, this whole pizza has 8 slices. And then there are 5 more in the second pizza for a total of 13 slices. So I have 13 is the number of pieces that I'm counting. Well, the denominator is telling me how many pieces are making up the whole. And in this case, it's 8, 13/8. Most pizzas are cut like this, not all of them. So a fraction where the numerator is greater than the denominator, and what we really do here is counting the number of pieces that are, we'll learn later, are shaded, or how many pieces are we counting. So now when you talk about this fraction bar, alright, so you've been exposed to fractions since second grade, and you've seen this fraction bar ever since. Now we have to learn what that fraction bar means. The fraction bar actually means division. The line that separates the numerator and the denominator is called a fraction bar, and it means divide. Okay, so when you see this, and we don't always use it as division, but when it asks you to do so, we need to use it as division. So 25 divided by 4 here would be 25/4. And we can make a mixed number out of that, and we'll show you how in just a second. Okay? Well, that's what the fraction bar means. It means divide. So how we can use an improper fraction. So here's an improper fraction, and remember, an improper fraction, we label it the exact same way. We still have a numerator and a denominator. The numerator still tells me how many pieces I'm counting, and the denominator still tells me how many pieces make up a whole. So in this model here, we have 11 pieces shaded. I'm counting 11 pieces. That is my numerator. And my denominator, how many pieces make up a whole? And in this case, we have 4 pieces make up a whole. So what I counted here was 11 of these shapes right here. And this shape is called a fourth. That is the unit fraction here. So I counted 11/4 is what was shaded. Right? And I know that unit fraction should strike a chord in your mind from 3rd and 4th grade. A unit fraction is just one piece of the whole. Okay, and we can also use a mixed number. Same thing, in a mixed number we have how many pieces do we have as wholes, and here we have 2 whole pieces. That becomes my whole number. It's in front of my fraction. And I also have a fraction. So then let's look at the fraction. And in this fraction I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces in the whole thing. That's my denominator. And I have 1, 2, 3 shaded, or I counted 3 of them. That becomes my numerator. So I have 2 whole and, think about decimals, right? 2 and 3/4. Without the decimal, it'd be 2 and 75/100ths. All right. So improper fraction or mixed numbers, mixed fractions, they show the same amount. All right. So this is 1 3/4. Look at the amount I have of pizza. It is the same on both sides, right? Because they name the same quantity. All right. So here I have 1 whole and 1, 2, 3 out of 4. 3/4 is my fraction, and 1 whole is my whole number. But over here, each piece is worth a fourth. So that's my unit fraction. Fourth. How many fourths do I have? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So I have 7 fourths. And fourth is that piece right there. That's what I'm counting, that shape. I've got 7 of those fourths. Alright? So mixed number, improper fraction. Look at my pizza here. The mixed number, I have 1 whole and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6, 7, 8. So 1 whole and 5 out of 8. And then I look at the improper fraction. How many of these unit fractions did I count? I have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of those 8. So 13 eighths is what I counted. Alright? Let's look at these burgers here. Yummy burgers. How many whole burgers do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whole burgers and a half of a burger. So my mixed number is 5 and 1/2. Now each burger, the unit fraction is 1/2. How many halves do I have? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 halves. 11 halves total. Alright? So let's talk about the math behind it now. Alright? So converting improper fractions to mixed numbers. Converting is a big word for change. How do I change an improper fraction to a mixed number? It's super easy. Remember that this division bar means, or this fraction bar means divide. So 9 divided by 4. So we're going to rewrite it. 9 divided by 4. So 4 goes into 9 2 times. That gives me 8. 9 minus 8 is 1. So 1 is my remainder. Now, if I look at a mixed number, what comes first in a mixed number? The whole number, right? So the whole number here is on top. Whole number. That's how many groups I made. I made 2 groups, 2 whole groups. Then I had how much left over? I had 1 left over out of 4. So whole number, numerator, denominator. Whole number, numerator, denominator. It goes in a vicious circle, right? So 2 and 1/4. Really easy to do. Grab the quotient as a whole number. The quotient, or the answer, becomes my whole number. My remainder becomes my numerator. And then the divisor is my denominator. And the denominator does not change. So let's practice. Let's practice that. So 42 divided by 5. So 5 goes into 42. 8 times, that gives me 40. 42 minus 40 gives me 2. So whole number, numerator, denominator. It's that triangle. Okay? So whole number, numerator, denominator. Denominator didn't change. 8 2/5. Okay, how about 29/3? So 29 divided by 3. 3 goes into 29 9 times, gives me 27. That gives me leftover of 2. So, again, the 3 numbers I need in that order. Numerator, denominator. Whole number, numerator, denominator. Whole number is 9. Numerator is 2. Denominator is 3. 9 2/3. Alright? This last one's tricky. 40 divided by 8. Well, we know what 40 divided by 8 is. What is 40 divided by 8? And the answer is 5. No fraction there. Just 5. Sometimes it happens that way. Okay? Well, how about changing a mixed number back into an improper fraction? Okay? This happens to be my favorite thing to do with fractions. So I use the acronym MAM. Multiply, add, move. Okay, so we are going to start with the 2 and 1/4. So the first thing we do is multiply. Multiply the whole number and denominator. That would be these two numbers, the whole number and the denominator. So 4 times 2 gives me 8. Add that product to the old numerator. 8 plus 1 gives me 9. That becomes my new numerator. Multiply, add. And then we just move the denominator over because the denominator doesn't change. Alright? Piece of cake, right? Just go in that whirlwind of a direction. Multiply, add, move. Multiply denominator by numerator. I'm sorry. Multiply denominator by whole number. Add the numerator over the denominator. Alright, so let's practice some of that. So 4 and 4/5 multiply. 4 times 5. 20. 20 plus 4 is 24 over the denominator. So if I think about it this way, I already know the number 7 won't change. So now I just find out what my numerator is. 3 times 7, 21, plus 1, 22. 22 sevens. Over here, I know my denominator won't change. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 3 is 43 over the 8. And that is how we convert a mixed number to improper fraction. So we've talked about the 3 types of fractions: improper, proper, and mixed number. And we've also learned how to convert a mixed number into an improper fraction and an improper fraction into a mixed number. So we're going to go ahead and practice that now. If you have questions, come and see me. Feel free to go back and watch the video again if you need help with it. Alright? Good luck.